Welcome back to an amazing episode of We Should Have Been Done This, the podcast. I am Shaun Manning.
Well, I thought you was going to introduce me too. I am Jason Jamerson.
So, how was your week, man?
Tiring.
Oh, okay.
Been very tiring.
But
I mean, listen, I didn't say I'm about to give up or something. You said it like I was like, I'm tired, boss. This is it for me. I'm about to just give it all up. It was tiring, man. But, you know, I'm here, ain't I?
Barely,
Yes.
Barely.
Very true. I just chugged down some coffee too, and they just done nothing.
Well, you gotta hit something, find a couple shots of espresso or something like that.
No, I need some food. That's all it is.
So,
some sustenance.
So, Lions played again.
Man, listen. Yo, I wish I had a cigar right now. I'm just pretending I do. Like, listen,
They haven't won the Super Bowl. Okay, calm down, Red.
Y'all got
Calm
to
down, Red.
listen.
You don't have a cigar, Red Arbach. And how many championships
playing
did they have
with these Lions, bro?
What? They haven't won anything.
They won so far. They won 7 games.
And they got a lot more to go before
they
anybody's
hey, listen,
any
season ain't over yet, but
okay.
There's a lot of people who said that they was not going to beat 13.
This is how you talk when you smoke a cigar?
You know, the smoke gets a little raspy to see your voice, so you know, this is how you know.
I don't think that's how you talk when you smoke a cigar. Not how people. I don't think that's how you talk.
Listen, man, you know, it all depends.
You were smoking a cigar 2 weeks ago by a fire pit, and you were talking regular.
That's because I was
yelling.
Okay. I got to commit until the cigar go. So,
sure. How was it? Fresh, or did you start anew? Did you start a new one, or was that old?
It was a little baby cigar, you know, so it ain't gonna be long.
Like a black and mild? Or
matter of fact,
like a
cigarello?
I seen a guy dump his in some whiskey one time. He dumped his in some whiskey and
yes, whiskey dipped, bourbon dipped, cognac dipped.
I mean, he just literally just took it and dipped it in whatever the hell y'all do.
Yeah, no, I had a Hennessy infused one before.
Okay.
I mean, obviously it don't taste like Hennessy. You don't get drunk.
Somebody just rolled it in some.
No, I guess like the leaf that they rolled the cigar in was like soaked in Hennessy first, and then when it dried up, we just rolled it.
I see.
I wouldn't say I'm a cigar aficionado. I think I went to Texas one time and I just seen them and I was like, why not? The Hennessy and the cigar, 2 for the price of 1.
It's bad. Just keep poisoning your lungs for the sake of looking cool.
It's not an everyday thing. You know, it's like, I think that may have been the first one I had all year for my birthday.
Oh,
and that was October.
And the year's almost over.
Yeah, so, you know, it's not an often thing. You know, it's a celebration. You know?
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, but no. Back to the Lions. The Lions. Yes, they won against the Chargers. Honestly, this is one that I had as a trap game for the Lions. Like one of them ones where it's like they should win, but because of the circumstances, like they're coming off a bye week, they could have been playing a little bit more relaxed and lackadaisical.
Well, that gives more time for preparation.
So that
who you're dealing with.
In theory, yes, okay. But also in theory, just like sometimes when the team that has the number 1 seed with the first round bye, a lot of times because they haven't played in a week, they come out a little rusty at the first beginning of the game, and then they got to play catch up. My thinking was this is how it can become a trap game for them: is they come out rusty, and then it turns into a shootout, but they're behind in the shootout, and they can't catch up. Excuse me. It ended up being the other way around. They ended up getting in front in the shootout and ended up, turned into who has the ball last. And because of that 4th down call, the Lions was able to just drain the clock down.
Seems to be a smirk on your face.
Yeah, man. So I'm one of the few people that actually enjoy Dan Campbell calling 4th down plays a lot.
Okay.
They were 4 for 5 on 4th down. I remember going on Facebook on the 1 4th down that they didn't convert, and everybody was up in arms. Oh, we're gonna need them 3 points later. We're gonna need this. Like, chill out. Like that's You can say that about anything. An incomplete pass, like, oh, he threw it off. We gonna be regretting that incomplete. We gonna be regretting it because everybody sounds like a bird to me when they complain.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
We gonna regret that. They should have did this. They should have ran the ball instead. It's 4th and 1. Why they even have to?
Yeah.
Everybody got something to complain about. Not a single one of them is a real coach in the NFL. And according to the analytics, he made the right call because not only would he had kicked the field goal with over a minute left, so even if we, kicked it and made it, you still get Justin Herbert, somebody who our defense could not do nothing with after the first, quarter. After that, he was just down the field every time. And our defense couldn't do nothing with it. So you're going to let him get the ball back with over a minute left and all their timeouts? No, I think they had 2 timeouts.
How many rushing touchdowns did the Lions have?
3 altogether.
How many passing touchdowns did the Lions have?
2.
Would you say, in your years of watching the Lions, all of those dreadful years, day by day,
week by week,
day by day,
week by week,
would you say this is one of the best games they've put together? And I mean balanced. One of the best balanced games they've put together. Because we had talked earlier. Correct. Yeah, offensively. We had talked earlier about prior to Kerryon Johnson getting 100 yards, it was Reggie Bush, which was like 5 years before that. And then before that, it was like, I don't know, Barry Sanders or somebody. And obviously last season with Swift, they had broken the century mark a couple of times during some games. But on this past Sunday, they were running, trying to run rush hour.
Yeah, and they almost had 2 players over 100 yards rushing. Because Gibbs had, 89?
That looks like some balance. And Montgomery was 127.
127. And so I saw, that to answer your question, the answer is yes. I saw a few different statistics. They said this is the first game that the Lions had in...
Here we go with the Jamerson stats.
Absolutely. This is the first game the Lions had, I think maybe ever, or since like the 70s or something like that, where they had 3 offensive players with over 100 yards for scrimmage. Now, Gibbs only had 89 rushing yards, but he had receiving yards that gave him over 100. Say Brown had 150 and a touchdown, and then and also with a touchdown, not just 100, but 100 and a touchdown. And then Montgomery.
Just for those who might not know, if you could explain scrimmage yards.
Scrimmage yards is just combined how many yards, whether it's from rushing the ball or catching a pass. So combined, that is what the scrimmage, the yards from scrimmage is.
Okay.
Yeah. So they had 175 rushing yards in the first half, and ended the game with 533 total offensive yards.
So now you in previous
with no turnovers on offense.
In previous episodes, you had always spoke highly of the defense. It was not the offense that was lacking on this Sunday, but the defense, unable to stop young Herbert, Keenan, and Elker and those boys. Does that give you any cause to pause moving forward as the teams, as the playoffs will, obviously, unless something happens, they'll be there. Defensively, will they be able to deal with some offensive juggernauts?
So my reservation with their defense is the same one I had all season, which is they need another pass rusher because neither one of the teams got a single sack all game, right?
Okay. Well,
the difference is nobody got close to Jared Goff like that. This is the first game since week 5 that the whole offensive line was.
And that's with Khalil, young Bosa.
Neither one of them got close to
Derwin James.
Derwin James is safety.
Is he back though?
Yeah, he played.
Okay, so I mean, defensively they got some stars.
Didn't sniff Jared Goff.
Khalil.
Right? Nobody did.
Oof, okay.
They didn't. I can't remember how many, if he even had any pressures for real. But he for sure didn't get touched, for real. So, neither team got sacked. The difference is, and this is why I say the Lions need another pass rusher. Lions were at least getting close to Justin Herbert. They was making him move out the pocket, run, or whatever the case may be. They can't bring nobody down unless they bottle him in the pocket. Like if they just bottle them in and whatever.
Yeah.
But if they like it, the only cause for concern would be against like a Jalen Hurts type, where it's like they're gonna grab him at least until James Houston comes back, because he was the best pass rusher on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like pure pass rusher, James Houston was the best one, but he cracked his ankle in half or whatever. So if he comes back, it's going. They say mid-December if he comes back. But
okay. Well, you mentioned Jalen Hurts, so we might as well go ahead and swing on through there. Where are your power rankings? Because I heard that the NFL's power rankings have come out. So do you have them?
Oh yeah, I got Bleacher Reports and I got ESPN's.
But let's hear yours first. So let's hear your I don't even want you to be tainted. I didn't want you. Okay.
No, because I got mine.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I got mine.
All right, go ahead.
So let's go Bleacher Report first. So Bleacher Report's power ranking, according to Bleacher Report, which I did see these, and of course we're only doing the top 5.
Of course,
we go all the way.
Nobody got time for all that.
Yeah. Now there's been changes in my power rankings, just like there's been changes.
What are the rankings? I'm
scrolling to the. You don't see me trying to burn some time while I'm scrolling. Like. That's all I'm trying to do, man. It's show business, baby. It's show business. All right. So, who do you think of the top 5 from Bleacher Report?
From Bleacher Report, Philadelphia, San Francisco.
This is in order and in no particular.
Just 5. Philadelphia, San Francisco, Kansas City, Detroit. It can't be. The Jaguars now. And it can't be Buffalo either. Ooh, Miami.
All right.
And that was who. Well, once y'all see this and y'all will see that was who. See, I told you. As of this moment. Now I don't know what yours are going to be, but as of this moment, we are ahead because I didn't think. Now, Lions-wise, I thought the Ravens should have been ranked higher than the Lions because they had beat the Lions and beat Seattle. But I didn't think they even belonged in there anyway. And then now look at that. They got another loss.
See, here's the thing.
We're on top.
You got to look at the circumstances.
We're better circumstances. Compared to ESPN and Bleacher Report, we're ahead of the game.
Oh, we are ahead of the game. But once again, that's because I look at circumstances. I don't just look at
tying back to why the Lions barely beat Kansas. Listen, man.
No. I'm talking about why the Lions got beat so bad against Baltimore. Everybody puts up a stinker every once in a while.
Because they got beat.
Jalen Hurts lost to the Jets with Zach Wilson.
It wasn't a drubbing. So go ahead. He doesn't play defense either. He doesn't play defense. It was
terrible.
He doesn't play defense.
Terrible loss.
That's the thing. I lost on the defense.
The Chiefs lost to the Broncos.
The Broncos are the hottest team in the league currently at the moment. They have turned it around. They've turned it around. They didn't beat the Chiefs. They didn't beat the Bills. All they needed was that shellacking down there in South Beach.
We're going to get to the Bills in a minute. Here's Bleacher Report's top 5. Number 5, we have the Miami Dolphins.
Look at that. I'm
Number 4.
I ain't even getting paid to do this. Go ahead.
We have the Baltimore Ravens.
Get them out of there. They don't know. No.
Number 3, we have the Detroit Lions.
3.
Number 2, got the Kansas City Chiefs.
They still only got 1 loss? 2 losses.
And number 1 is the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 6 was the 49ers.
Okay.
Number 6 is the Niners. Number 7 is Dallas. Number 8 is Cleveland.
ESPN.
So we go to Espen.
Oh, so I thought you have a cell phone. You have
bookmarks and I did, but then I got tired.
Oh, you got tired? You deleted? You clearing your history of bookmarks?
No.
Of sports pages?
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know who's watching and what.
You don't want ESPN to know that you're cheating on them with Bleacher Report.
Exactly.
Oh.
Listen, baby. Listen, baby, I was only watching.
It's only your top 5 that matters.
It's only your top. Oh, they did this. They did this backwards. Well, how you like me now? All right. So, number 1, this is Espen. Is the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 2 is Kansas City. Number 3 is San Francisco.
What is going on?
Number 4 is Detroit. and number 5 is Baltimore.
They're out here sucking on the teat of Kansas City. Okay, so they're very similar, minus the what was it? Minus no Dolphins.
No Dolphins.
Being in
The
there.
Lions are number 4 instead of number 3.
That's
And Baltimore is number 5.
yeah, they beat Kansas City. I don't like, I get it because you have Andy Reid, you have Mahomes, you have a Kelsey when healthy. Like, I understand that, but ranking them at 2, like, I haven't seen them really do anything to anybody convincingly, minus the Mahomes games where he threw the 4 touchdowns, and he hasn't had one of them since.
Is that is that Super Bowl significance? The top 2 teams, or 2 teams are in the Super Bowl.
And I had touched on that some weeks prior, so I don't disagree with that. But at this point, it's clearly one team that looks above and beyond, which would be in Philadelphia, despite that one loss that they did have. And then, San Francisco has 3 losses.
And 3 in a row.
And even in regards to the Ravens, Lamar looking like very Josh Allen-like with the costly turnovers when it matters. Yeah. But most importantly, what is the Jamerson top 5?
The Jamerson top 5 power rankings. Let me tell you. So number 1, we got Philadelphia once again because
So question, before you even do that, just is that who you really want at number 1?
Who I want at number 1?
In your rankings, is that who you really have at number 1, or are you just doing this to do it?
They have one loss, and the one loss was Jalen Hurts playing like somebody who he has not been playing like the last few games.
For sure.
He is the first Eagles in franchise history, first quarterback in franchise history for the Eagles to throw for 73% in 3 games in a row.
Randall didn't do that?
No.
Donovan didn't do that?
No. 73% or better
Jeff Garcia
in completion percentage.
His brief stint didn't do that?
No.
Ty Detmer?
No. None of them.
Mike Vick didn't do that?
Mike Vick didn't do it. None of them.
I'm running out of Eagles' names.
Yeah, no. Nick Foles didn't do it.
He does have a ring, though.
He does have a ring.
He does have a ring. Carson
Wentz didn't do it. So
he was on the MVP. He was on the road until he got hurt.
Until he got hurt. But yeah, so he's the first Eagles quarterback to throw for 73% completion percentage in 3 games in a row, 3 straight games.
Okay.
So he's playing good. Their defense, they got one of the top defenses. They got an offensive line that's outstanding. They are a complete team. They just, for whatever reason, against the Jets, he decided he saw the green helmets and just was like, oh, that's my guy, and just start throwing interceptions or whatever.
Are they better than your Lions?
I'm never gonna say they're better than the Lions because
so they put them at 2.
Put
them at 1.
So one.
But the Lions, do it.
So
have the courage of your convictions. Go ahead and do it.
First and foremost, no, because I'm gonna.
I'll do it with
because it makes it's no point for me to do it. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna let the world do it.
Okay.
And you're gonna see why in a second. You're gonna see why.
So number 2,
you got Eagles, Lions, of course,
of course,
they're right there. To me, especially after this trade and seeing how they played on Sunday, I got the 49ers number 3.
Okay, they got 3 losses though.
They do got 3 losses, and they were 3 in a row. But then they got Chase Young, they got Debo back, and they beat the brakes off of Jacksonville.
They did.
It's hard for me. It's hard for me to put teams in the top 5 that had a bye week, mainly because they didn't do anything. Well,
but they can't lose. It's not.
They can't lose. They can't win. But at the same time, there's other teams that may have been right on the cusp who played their behinds off. And they like, oh, now I got to put them over them because I just saw them do this.
Yeah.
Whereas they did. I will say, with that being said, I will still put Miami at number 4. Mainly because they got the
offense.
That offense except for for whatever reason, when they play a good opponent, Jalen Waddle gets hurt. Like, why is he always getting hurt against good teams?
Now they got a week to rest.
Yeah,
so they've had some time to recover.
I got them, and then record-wise, you just got to put the Baltimore Ravens up there. It's like when they look
over
good.
Kansas City.
I put them over Kansas City. Kansas City once again has shown me
How
at
many
least
losses do the Ravens have?
they have 3, but
Kansas City has what, 2?
they have 2. One. So listen.
You have Mahomes.
Once again,
you have Jackson.
Circumstantial.
Mahomes and Jackson.
So Kansas City is doing just enough to get by. Once again,
Super Bowl winner.
they lost to one team that one of the best teams in the league.
Oh my God!
They lost to one of the worst teams.
The Broncos is the best team in the league these last 3 weeks.
No, they have not been the best team in the league.
Last 3 weeks.
No, they have not. They've been getting lucky. Did you watch the game last night?
Yeah,
they got lucky.
I thought Russell had on a Seahawks jersey again. I thought Pete Carroll was on.
He didn't even throw for 200 yards.
Well, he threw for a W.
No. The Bills had put on a dunce cap and left 12 men on the field on would have been the last play of the game.
It happens
because
it's Buffalo.
Yeah, it is.
What do you expect from Buffalo?
It is Buffalo. But I put Baltimore at number 5 over Kansas City because one, at least the games that they did win, I've seen them have 2 convincing wins, very convincing wins, one over against my Lions, even though, if everybody put an asterisk on games that people have injuries on, I put an asterisk on that one because 1, the Lions ain't have their full offensive line.
Okay.
2, they didn't have David Montgomery. And 3, they had some defensive players that were hurt.
Okay.
So, including, at the time, the league leader in interceptions. So, once again, no excuses, but still like, all right, if you want to talk about who's better at full strength, we didn't get to see it. So, we didn't get to see it. And then they beat the brakes off the Seahawks even worse.
They did.
2 of their losses came in divisional games. Them games be different.
Always, you never know.
You never know
who's gonna win.
And that the one the other day came on the last second field goal.
Yeah.
So I still put them at number 5 because their defense is the best defense in the league.
Okay.
Now, do I still think? I don't know. I'm starting to think it may not be the receivers, or maybe it is the receivers. They just keep getting the wrong ones. But because Baltimore, their whole thing was Lamar ain't had nobody to throw to.
Yeah,
They go get Zay Flowers.
Mark Andrews.
They get Mark Andrews been there.
Yeah.
Odell it was supposed to be a spectacular out there on offense with Odell.
He scored.
Finally.
I think he scored like twice. It's 3 times he scored.
He ain't scored except for that one, I think.
2 or 3.
I didn't pick him in fantasy. Just
not
he gonna sneak one in.
Yeah, definitely not Odell.
Yeah, Odell has not been because he was hurt half the beginning of the season.
He's always
exactly. So yeah, no,
last 3 or 4 years.
But here's what I want to. I want to tell you this earlier. But I said, you know what? Let's wait.
I can't wait.
Let's wait.
All right. This ballyhooey.
Are you ready?
Bile.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, man. So I was looking at schedules, right?
Oh, okay.
I was looking at schedules. You know what schedules are, right?
Yes, I'm aware of what the schedules.
You're aware of the schedule.
I am.
All right. Cool. So I was looking at the NFC and the schedules, right? I was looking at San Francisco's schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're currently 6-3, right? I'm gonna list the rest of their games. You tell me how many more of these games do you think they could possibly lose?
Okay.
Right? They got Tampa Bay.
That's not even going to dignify that with saying anything.
Seattle.
Possible. But
they play Seattle twice. One in Seattle, one at home.
Where's this one at?
The first one is at Seattle. It's Tampa Bay.
By 14.
At Seattle.
By 14. They won by 14.
At the Eagles.
Eagles by 3 or by 7.
Okay. Seahawks at home.
Beat them by 21.
At the Cardinals.
Beat them by 40.
The Ravens at home.
10-point game. San Francisco.
At Washington.
By 17.
And the Rams at home.
By a gazillion.
Yeah. All right. So ultimately, you got one for sure loss.
Yeah.
So that would leave them at 13-4.
Yeah. Who knows?
13. Well, the one that you felt most confident in.
Yes.
So that would leave them 13-4.
Yes.
13-4. All right. So that's their record at the end of the season, right? So then I looked at the Philadelphia Eagles record.
Of course,
right?
You did. Yeah.
This is they're currently 8-1,
mm-hmm.
right? So there's one loss. This is their remaining schedule. At Kansas City.
Eagles by 10. But anybody's game. It's Mahomes.
All right. But you're saying
Eagles.
Eagles by 10.
Yeah.
All right. Buffalo at home. Buffalo is the weirdest team.
Right, but that'll be the game that Buffalo wins.
Mess around and win.
So, okay, I'll say maybe.
How they did with Miami, and then just turn around and put up a stinker.
So, I would say that's 2 50-50 games.
2 50-50 games. All right. 49ers in Philadelphia.
Okay, so that's 8. Now, I picked Philadelphia to win, but still, so that's 3 50-50 games. Okay.
At Dallas.
That's 4 50-50 games. Okay.
At Seattle.
Okay, they got that one.
New York at home.
They got that one.
Arizona at home.
It's a divisional game, so anything's possible.
Well, the Cowboys said we care less about divisional games.
Well, that's because the Cowboys are rolling. I'd say against the Giants, I'd say 70-30 Philadelphia, that they should win that handily.
I thought you said the score would be 70.
No. I'm saying that they should win that, but it's a divisional game. So
right. So we got
Tyrod could.
New York at home, Arizona at home.
They're gonna be there.
And then in New York,
they're not losing two. I mean, they probably won't lose any to the Giants, but it's possible.
So 450. So
they got four. So
I need you to give me a record here. They're 8-1 right now. Give me a record at the end of the season. What's their record?
I'm riding them all the way to the big show. So
I mean, this is the big show. That's fine.
They don't lose.
Maybe
they don't lose.
They don't lose.
They're gonna win it out. I mean, they've already had a loss. So Mercury Morris, anybody got to listen to him anymore. So they don't lose.
Okay.
But if they do, they could lose two or three of those games. They could lose
two or three of those games. Because mean, the one game they did lose, everybody wrote that off as a blowout in the first place.
Yeah,
and then they just so happened.
Anything's possible. San Francisco against Dallas, against Kansas City, anything is possible.
All right.
And I mean, they did lose to Kansas City when it mattered most last year. So
yeah, I personally, I think they'll lose to Kansas City.
Okay.
And I think the Cowboys will give them a run for their money because not only was it a close game last time, but it was a divisional game, and they were in Philadelphia.
And the Cowboys are rolling,
and they'll be playing in Dallas,
and they're rolling right now. That Cowboy momentum, they're rolling. They're rolling.
Every time they roll, they get rolled the next game.
Well, then who knows?
So you never know.
You know.
So now, obviously, you knew I was getting there.
Obviously,
let's look at the Detroit Lions.
Okay, just go ahead.
The Detroit Lions, the rest of their schedule, and I want you to let me know. You know what I mean? Just be real. Okay. Just be real. They 7-2 right now.
7-2.
All right. The next game is here against Chicago.
Lions by 14.
After that, here against the Packers.
Lions by 17.
In New Orleans.
Lions by 6.
In Chicago.
Lions by 10.
Here against the Broncos.
Hottest team in the league.
They're not hot. They got lucky.
Against the Broncos.
Here at Ford Field.
Yeah, Dan Campbell going to have them ready. Lions by 14.
In Minnesota.
With the Dobbs deception, Lions by 14.
In Dallas.
It depends on what Dallas is looking like, but that's a 50-50 game.
Right. And then here against the Vikings.
That's another win.
So, that's one potential, it's a 50-50 game, but one potential loss.
Correct.
Which would leave the Lions at 14-3. I'll just go for a loss. I'll just call it a loss because you said it's 50-50.
Yeah.
I'll leave them at 14-3, right? I personally have the Eagles ending 14-3, right? Which means the Lions and the Eagles would be tied for first place. And depending on how these conference games go and the scores and all that stuff, how they do the tiebreaker, the road to the Super Bowl could be going through Detroit.
And unless they could go 15-2.
They could go 15-2.
They're rolling. I mean, that Chargers team,
I personally don't have them losing.
That Chargers game is a game last year, year before last, year before that, year
Mhm.
before that, year before that. That is a game that they would have lost.
It's a game they would have lost.
So I will say the improvement clearly in the record, but the improvement in the psyche of the team.
Mhm.
You know, Darren Campbell. Excuse me. I mean, he's got them playing quality football.
And this is why I got them beating Dallas. I feel like that it'll be a similar
Where's
game.
that game at?
That's in Dallas.
I might have to go see my mother because that's going to be that could be a good one.
Now, I had thought about it, but I'm like, the way their record's gonna be at that time, that game gonna be too meaningful. Them tickets gonna be ridiculous.
That's gonna be a good one. 41 to 38.
The same score as the Chargers.
Yeah, I don't know who the winner gonna be. 41-38.
So I see it being very similar. The only difference is Herbert makes less mistakes than Dak does. I see that being the deciding factor.
Who's got a better defense?
The Cowboys on paper have a better defense
than the Chargers.
Oh yeah, than the Chargers.
Okay.
If we talk the Lions, then the Lions have only allowed 2 rushing touchdowns all season. They're the number 1 rushing defense.
So Pollard hasn't been doing much anyway.
Exactly.
It
so
would be CD.
They're going to have to throw the ball, and if they can get any kind of pressure on Dak, because that's been, like I said, that's been my biggest knock on the Lions. If they can get pressure on the quarterback is going to make mistakes. They just can't get no pressure on the quarterback.
Okay,
so I see it being a very similar game, except Dak making more mistakes.
All right.
Because if you got Khalil Mack on one side and Joey Bosa on the other side, and they're not sniffing, as long as the offensive line stay healthy, Micah Parsons by himself ain't about to do it.
All right, so health aside, so let's say the rest of the year, all teams are able to remain healthy, right? So we're about 1 or 2 weeks past,
and this is outside of the players that are on injured reserve.
For sure. Okay, and we're 1 or 2 weeks past, or about past halfway of the season. So I'll ask you, where do the Lions finish for the season? For the season, not for the
record wise or playoff position.
Record wise and playoff position. Where do you have the teams ranked?
So I don't have them losing again, honestly.
So 15-2.
I got them 15-2. I got them 15-2.
15-2.
Depending on, so just like you said with the Eagles, I got a few 50-50 games.
Yeah.
Because I've seen when the 49ers lost, it wasn't their defense fault. It was the offense's fault.
Okay.
The Eagles defense could potentially make Brock Purdy turn into the 3-loss 49ers again.
They could.
So that's not one I'm worried about. The Chiefs defense, on the other hand, is playing pretty good football.
Yeah.
Their offense, even though it's Patrick Mahomes and the homeboys.
Yeah.
Like
don't do Travis Kelce like that. He's his own.
My bad. He's not a homeboy at all. He's a Swiftie.
I see what you did.
He's a Swiftie.
I see what you did.
Yeah, you saw it.
Watch it.
You saw it.
Watch
so, he finds ways to win games. Like I said, the one game he did lose since they lost to the Lions is because they said he had the flu. So
definitely not Mike.
Definitely not Mike.
Mike and Tom would have threw 8 touchdowns for the flu game.
Absolutely.
That's what especially got to do in the flu game.
Absolutely.
You got to dig deep.
I think just because it's a divisional game, I think the Cowboys may mess around and beat them.
Okay.
And they're playing in Dallas.
Are they going all the way? Just
Philly?
No.
Or the Lions?
Say it right here. Health aside.
Health aside?
Health aside.
Health aside. Lions in the Super Bowl, baby. Health aside, I'm putting the Lions in the
Against
Super Bowl. Against who? AFC is so wild. It would happen. The only team that has been somewhat consistent
is Miami.
No, they have 3 losses.
They were
to good teams. Like every time they play,
they lost to a good team. Everybody else lost to a bad team.
I mean, but with the playoffs, it's nothing but good teams.
They're making their adjustments and let you tell that there were some injuries in Miami. Jalen Ramsey is back. We got to see what they do when they come back from the bye.
Well, Jalen Ramsey came back and they still lost.
Listen, things happen. Players mess up. It happens.
I would have to go at this point in time.
The Denver Broncos.
As of this recording,
you got the Broncos. I know you do.
I would have to say, as much as I don't want to, the Kansas City Chiefs. Only because
could have said Baltimore. Could have said Cincinnati.
I could have.
You could have said the Natty. The
I
Natty,
could've.
they rolled out too.
I'm not,
What about
I'm not,
young Houston? Huh?
I'm not gonna
Young
say.
CJ Stroud.
They got to make the playoffs first, which they are in the playoffs right now. But
the boy's rolling.
He is. He may win Rookie of the Year and MVP.
I mean, thus far, he should definitely win Rookie of the Year.
He only got one interception
because that Texans team should not be doing this.
Not at all. Not at all.
And he might be the best quarterback out of Ohio State to play in the NFL.
Absolutely. As of now, at least.
As of now.
There's a such thing as a sophomore slump and all that stuff.
It's early.
I will say this. If the Jets, for whatever reason, can keep on